We have the incredible Bethany sharing some beautiful love and relationship insights with us today. All right, Bethany, tell us a little bit about you.
Hi, Leanne. Thanks for letting me be here. I'm so excited. I am Bethany Lewis. I am a wife and a mom of six. My oldest is 16 and my youngest is 5. So they are all home and they keep us very busy. I grew up in Delaware and I live in Utah now, and I am an occupational therapist and certified life coach. I worked at a concussion clinic for a number of years, and that just really opened my eyes to the world of brain injury, specifically what they call mild traumatic brain injury, which is, yes, concussions, and how impactful those could be. Like it can just absolutely turn somebody's world upside down. And I had no idea. You'd hear like, oh, it's just a concussion. And then it's not just a concussion. And so, anyway, when I learned about that and how much people were struggling, I just became very passionate about it, and seeing the results people were getting and that they can actually like find healing after even years of suffering with these symptoms, it was just very exciting to me. I just felt very passionate about um, working in this space and trying to make a difference for people. So I combined my passion for helping people with concussions and my passion for life coaching, and started a business called the Concussion Coach, where I do one-on-one coaching to help people who are struggling with long-term, like long-lasting concussion symptoms, and have a podcast where I love sharing information on like quality information, because there's not a whole lot of that out there for people with concussions. So I want to get good information to people, and I want to share stories so that people don't feel alone and know that they're not crazy or lazy. They're just dealing with a brain injury. So anyway, that is me in a not super short nutshell, but that's what I do. That's who I
That,
am.
that, that is so amazing. And six kids between 5 and 16, you said. Oh my
Mhm.
goodness. And concussion, like I love that you've honed in on that because I think so many people have experienced that and they don't know how to deal with that. So
Yes, thank you. I feel very strongly about it, as you can tell. But it's funny because I kind of went into it kicking and screaming. Like I knew that I loved helping people in that realm. But when I started my business, I was initially doing family relationships coaching, because relationships I feel very strongly about. I really love and want people to feel that. And so that was like a big deal to me. And then I felt kind of called and guided into switching over to focus, like niching down into helping people with concussions. And I did a little bit kicking and screaming. Then once I finally was like, okay, fine, then I was like, oh, this is the best thing ever. And I love it. So
yes, it is because not very many people have that expertise in that area. So for you to take that and dive in and really give people, basic real information is gold. Yeah,
thank you. I do really love it. I'm
that's
so
awesome.
grateful to have been guided this way and feel very strongly
Yes,
about it. So thank you. I
that
appreciate it.
that is awesome. Well, tell us, how do you bring more loving into your life and business, and how has that impacted your relationships?
That is a great question. Like I said, I love love. I would say my number one resource is prayer. Like every single day, I'm begging God to give me the gift of charity and to help me see, like, I'll get emotional about it, see other people and myself the way he does. It really does just make all the difference. It helps me to be more compassionate, more forgiving of myself and others, and open to seeing other people's perspectives. Um, and and I think, yeah, it helps to, like, before every coaching call, like help me to like have unconditional love and hold space for them. And it's cool. It's very cool to feel that gift coming through when it does, and it's a blessing to get to feel that kind of love for people. I just love it. So that's
That I love that so much too. That's beautiful because I think when we put God in the details of whatever we're doing, or for people, the universe, whatever, the higher power that you believe in into our lives and really look towards that, it makes such a difference. And I love that you're really mindful of prayer in everything that you're doing. That's beautiful. Yeah.
I need it. Like, I will
Oh,
just
me
I
too.
can't do
Me
without
too.
it. So
Exactly. Exactly. I hear you, man. Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, what is something that you love about you and why?
um it's funny, when I first heard this question, I was like, I love that I love people, which is just kind of going along with the theme here. But I think that that is a obviously I work hard at begging God for it, but I do think it comes more naturally, it comes somewhat naturally to me as well, and I'm very grateful for that because it just makes life a lot nicer to get to love and enjoy people. So that's I don't know, that's something that I love about myself.
And that's a beautiful thing. I love that you recognize that because you're so good at that. I've only had the opportunity to meet you in person once, but just feeling your vibe and connection, you can feel that love. And I think that is a beautiful thing. Oh my goodness. When we intentionally try to have more love in our lives, how that also radiates to other people. And so I love that. I love that you love that about you. That's cool.
Thanks. That's very meaningful. Thank you. Yeah.
All right. So when you think about connection with others or with yourself, what comes to mind?
Okay, so this is a great question as well. I think the when I think of connection, there's a phrase that comes to my mind that our mutual friend Leah Davidson taught us, which is healing happens in connection. And I see that in my own life, and I really see that that's so important with my clients. But just like in my own life, even this morning, I had a bit of a rough morning, and it was I had to do some thought downloads and journaling. I was like struggling a little bit, and then I went and um worked with I do home health as well. I was working with my client and talking to her and her caregiver and just felt so much better afterwards. I'm like, this always happens. If I'm like struggling, if I can get, and maybe it's distraction, I don't know, but like, if I can connect with other people, I it does tend to heal my heart a little bit. And I still need to revisit and like continue to resolve the issues that I was dealing with, but it definitely helps give perspective and lightens things. And then with my clients, I see that healing happening connection as well. That people suffering with post-concussion syndrome, connection can be particularly hard because everything is so overstimulating and it's hard to focus on a conversation and to remember what people are even talking about and to have like it can be very overwhelming and overstimulating, even just talking to someone. And so, but they like we all need it. Healing does happen in connection. So I've had people tell me that even if, somebody wasn't saying anything, if they were just with them in it and like didn't even have a conversation, it was just together, that was very, very meaningful and very helpful for them and healing for them. And I think something else like in this realm of on the realm of PCS, post-concussion syndrome, if people can, the loved ones are interested in them, like believe them when they tell them what they're experiencing and show that they care by researching and seeking to understand what they're going through. Like all of those things, I think just build that connection. And I have had so many people tell me that those specific things were very, very helpful in their healing journey. And so I'm very supportive of them. So anyway, when I think of connection, I think of that healing happens in connection. I think it's so true.
I love that so much. And yeah, thank goodness for Leah too for teaching us all these amazing things about our nervous system as well. But I love that you've worked with that with your clients and their family or friends or whatever to really emphasize building that connection because it's one of the five basics. I
Yes, it
mean,
is.
that's it. That's why we as humans were born to connect. And so when we withdraw and don't connect from anything, it definitely has a huge impact on our lives.
Makes everything worse.
Yeah,
It really does.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah. But it can be so it can feel so protective to do that too. So I understand the like it's not uncomplicated, but it is really important. So I
Yes, yes. Well, and I love you that you work with people on that to emphasize the connection because often, and I'm sure yeah, I don't know much about concussions and all of that kind of thing, but I would think that it would be easy to retreat and pull back and not connect with people. I don't know.
Yes,
Any,
absolutely. Yeah,
okay.
you're absolutely right. Yes, it can be again because it feels so overstimulating because people don't understand a lot of times. It feels like easier or again more protective just to like pull back in a way and that makes it harder. So
Yeah.
it's just yeah, it's hard, but I do believe that that connection really does make a difference.
Oh, I'm so glad you're teaching that and showing people how to do that. That's
So
awesome.
grateful for understanding it
Mhm.
through yeah, the nervous
Mhm.
system stuff. So it's so good.
Yes, yes, yes. All right. So anything else that you want to share, and where can our listeners connect with you and learn more about you?
Sure. I well, I there's another story that I want to share, but I'm going to wait till the next question to do that one.
Okay, sounds
But
good.
I guess as far as finding out more, I do feel very strongly about the podcast that I get to do. It's like feels like a passion project. I just really love. I interview people who've had post-concussion syndrome or like long-lasting concussion symptoms and hear their stories. And then I also interview professionals who work with that within this population and in this space. And so there's a lot of like it's so fun for me to get to connect with people and learn about them and hear their stories. I love people, I love hearing, I love all of that. But I know that it's been helpful for other people. I've had a lot of positive feedback that they people don't feel as alone when they hear that other people, their story and what they've experienced, or they get good tips and information of what can help with their what they're dealing with. So anyway, I just really love that. And it's just the Concussion Coach podcast. It's on any podcasting platform and on YouTube. So definitely, if anybody knows somebody who's struggling with concussion symptoms, and everybody knows somebody, it's crazy. Then please pass that on to them. A lot of good free information. I also have Instagram and Facebook. It's the Concussion Coach on both of those. And then my website is theconcussioncoach.com. And there's a free guide for helping loved ones know how to best support their loved one dealing with a concussion. And then I do free consultations, so you can sign up for that on the website too. So
That is awesome. And I'll put all this in the show notes as well. But I mean, I highly encourage everyone to check out, listen to your podcast, all the things, because man, yeah, you are tender and know so much. And I love that you're sharing it with the world. That's awesome.
thanks. I do love doing it. It's it really is. It's so funny because as I've, there have been multiple times since starting this business and I'm like, why am I doing this again? Like it's like costing money and a lot of time that I don't feel like I have a lot of to do this, but it's just like when I like think about it, I'm like, I can't not do this. Like I like in my core, I like know that this is something that needs to be happening, at least right now. So like it's kind of it yeah, I really do love doing it and feel like it is something that needs to be happening right now. So anyway, thank you for
Uh,
giving me a chance to put it out there because I do like the more people can hear it, I hope the more people
yeah.
can be blessed and benefited by it. So
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's awesome. All right. So, what's your favorite quote about love and how has it shaped your life and relationships?
okay, so funny story. I didn't tell you this before, but I have two, and I'm sorry, I'm going to throw another
Nope.
one out there.
Share both of
But
them. Yes,
okay,
please. Yes.
so the first one, one is by Thomas S. Monson.
Uh-huh.
I love his quote where he says, "Never let a problem to be solved become more important than a person to be loved." That just really resonated with me the first time I heard it, and it's just so true. Like it's so easy for us to get confused about what matters and like what's important, and especially I think I don't know. I made I used that quote on a picture that I had of my one of my younger brothers. It's such a cute picture. He was pulling his daughter, who's like 1 or 2, on a sled, and like the lighting was just perfect. It was just like I don't know. For some reason, that picture just said that to me. Like never let a problem solved become more important than the person you loved. It's just especially with littles, I think it can be so easy to be like, no, we have to get this thing done, and you are the problem, right? And so it was just it's a good reminder for me that the people are the ones that matter. So I love that quote. And then the other one is by Mary Lou Kanaki. I actually don't know how to say her last name. But and apparently this is a quote that Mr. Rogers kept in his pocket. This is how I learned
That's
that about this.
cool.
Um, it says there isn't anyone you couldn't love once you've heard their story. Um, and I have found that to be true in my life. I just have a story to share that does not paint me in the best light, but it was an experience that proved to me that this was true. I was in my probably early 20s and I was going somewhere, I don't know, I was traveling and I by myself and I was in the airport and as I was like going to, sit in the area, the waiting area, I saw this guy, and my first thought was like, oh, I hope I don't sit next to him. Like I don't remember why. Like I don't know what it was about him, but I was like immediate judgment, and was like, oh, I hope I don't sit next to him. And then almost as immediate, the like sure knowledge came into my head that I am going to sit next to him and that I'm going to get to know him and then I'm going to love him. I was like,
Oh,
ugh, so annoyed. But I was like, that's gonna have to be what happens because I had that thought. So sure enough, I'm sitting in the plane, I'm in the middle, and like I see him coming down the aisle and he sits right next to me. I was like, I knew it, I called it. And then sure enough, I got to talking to him, learn more about him, and of course I just loved him. Like it was so funny. So when I think it was later after that experience that I saw that quote and I was like, that's so true. Like I know from personal experience, like yeah, when we get to know people, and I think that's the whole thing of requesting that charity. Like if we can see people as God sees them, then it's impossible not to love them. So
yeah.
yeah,
I love that so, so, so much, both of those quotes. And one of my favorites is you either love someone or you don't understand them.
oh, I like that.
And I really think that story ties right into it because if you look to understand and if you listen to their story and if you're looking to that, like, how can I understand? How can I see it just a little bit differently? Then you feel more of that love. So I love that that's so funny on the airport guy. You're like, yep, and I'm gonna love you, and you just knew it. So yeah,
Yep, it was
yeah.
really funny. I think God was like, "Let me teach you a lesson."
Uh-huh,
So
uh-huh.
it was a good lesson, I guess.
Yes, it was. Well, I mean, it's helped you, and I'm sure it's helped tons of your clients and family and all of it. So that's awesome.
It
That's
was
awesome. Well, so many good quotes like, yes, never the problem to be solved, more important than a person to be loved. I love that one too. Like,
so good.
problems don't have to be, I mean, yes, there are big problems, and yes, they're frustrating, but when we can turn back to love, that makes such a difference. And listening to their story, something to think about. I love that. I
Thank you.
love that.
Me
Well,
too. Grateful for smart people who say these things.
exactly. I know. So, yes, exactly. So good. All right. Well, thank you, Bethany, for sharing your love insights with us. So, so, so grateful for you and the love that you put out in the world. So appreciate that.
Thank you, Leanne. I appreciate what you're doing as well. It's wonderful to talk about love and like actually focus on it for a minute. So thank you for what you're doing.
All right. Well, here is to healing happens in connection, more love, and have a good one, y'all.